Get going. Sometimes I see people, you know, they're there and they're talking to someone for 3, 4, 5 hours, and they're begging people to get into their company and stuff like that. Please, please, please get into my business because I'll make some money and stuff like that. No, you got to switch your thinking, okay? Your thinking here is that you're going to do everything to help them get rich, okay? And don't beg them to get into the business. They ought to be begging you to get into this company. Okay? Seriously. We got the greatest thing in the world. They should be begging us to get in this company and stuff like that. So here's the kind of attitude that you have, okay, when you're talking to someone about the business. You have the attitude that you're going to get rich and they're going to get rich. So let's just try this out just a little bit here, okay? I want you to turn to the person next to you just real quick. Okay, everybody turn to the person next to you. And I want you to look them square in the eyes. And I want you to say, man, am I glad you got to meet me. What I'm going to explain to you right now, there's a couple of big things I've explained to you that are important. Number one, the products were the most important for me in my success. Number two was keeping everything fun, simple, easy, magical, okay? The next one was sticking to the plan of daily method of operation of getting 10 in the business. This next one is one of my biggest key points of my success. So listen into this. I know we've been here a while and we're getting close to the end of the day, but this is one of my biggest things that made me so successful, okay? I was always very concerned with how good my people have been and how good they do. And that just didn't happen from the first month. That's still happening today, okay? But I was very concerned the very first 72 hours. Now, there's not something a miracle about that number, but here's the reason why that amount of time is so important. They just got done with the opportunity meeting. And remember, you stacked the first 8 or 10 testimonials with the $3,000 housewife, truck driver, auto mechanic stories, okay? And now your person sitting out there goes, wow, if that housewife can make $3,000, maybe I can make $3,000, okay? Now, when they get home and they start to explain this to their spouse, guess what happens? The spouse is either very excited or extremely negative, okay? And starts putting that little housewife down, bad housewife, crazy woman, lunatic with powders and tablets, okay? So that's where the sponsor comes in, okay? And so what I do is immediately the next day we're going to meet and we're going to go to the career book and we're going to make up who do you know of everybody that wants to get on the products and who do you know of everybody that wants to get out to the business. So the first thing I do is I tell this person what they're supposed to do, which is to make up the list. Then the next thing I go out and do is I show them how to do the presentations. So for instance, with Jerry, I said, now Jerry, who are these out of these people do you want to get on the products? And they said, well, these people here. And I said, well, who do you want to get on the business? They said, these people here. I said, okay, Jerry, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some time out of my day to make some of these presentations for you. Okay, write that down. I'm going to do the presentations for you. You can't believe how much relieved Jerry was from me saying that, okay? She was excited about the business. She wanted to do the business, but yet she had never done anything like this, so she was scared to death, okay? So when I said I would do some of these presentations for her, it was like, wow, he's going to help me out here, okay? And I said, now, while I'm doing these presentations, Jerry, the important thing is you better listen to what I say. Because after 4 or 5 of these, I'm going to make you do a part of the presentation on your own. I'll do a part, then you do a part. And then we'll keep doing that until you know how to do it on your own. once you got somebody signed up, here's what I would personally do, okay? First thing I would do is I would tell my person to write down every single person that they know. Don't think about anything. Write down every single person that they know on a piece of paper or get their telephone book out, okay? Write that down. A lot of people, they come to the meeting here and they see, well, someone's doing flyers, or they're doing the button, or they're doing whatever. Listen, if you're brand new and you're just getting this thing going, don't start with flyers and the button and all that. You know, maybe work that in with why you're working what I'm going to tell you, okay? But first thing you do is make out a list of every single person that you know everywhere in the world, okay? And then you want to contact that person, because if you don't, somebody else will. Now, where can we go to find people? Write this down. Your customers are unbelievable. Your friends. And again, turn to that page number 24 so you can think about all the people that you know, okay? You can run little advertisements in the newspaper, in your booklet right in here, okay? It's got not only the advertisements you can run, but it's got the script of what you say to get them down to the meeting, word for word, what it is that you say, okay? You could carry around your tablet box with you, okay? No question about it. If you're wearing your button and you're carrying your tablet box and you got your briefcase that says Herbalife on it, okay? Will people ask what the heck is in those tablets? If you follow what I say, write this down, you're going to make a minimum of $50,000 this year. That's the least amount of money that you're going to make. The second year, you'll make $125,000, and that's the least amount of money that you're going to make. Now, I'm going to show you the plan. The only thing I can't do for you guys, okay, is I can't get up in the morning and drink your shakes for you, and I can't get up in the morning and take your tablets for you. You got to do that yourselves. I can't wake up in the morning and contact the people for you. You got to do this yourselves. But the great thing is, we don't have different products for different people in the company. The products are the same for the president's team as they are for those of you way there in the back of the room. The products are the same. We got the exact same marketing plan. Yes. We got the exact same marketing plan if you're a man or a woman. We take everybody, okay? And so all you got to do is go out and do it and make it happen. It'll happen, trust me. So I guess if I just write on this, it works, okay? Now look at, here's what we do. We're going to go out and we're going to talk to 10 people a day about the product. 10 people a day about the product. And let's say you only work 22 days. Now, by the way, when you talk to these 10 people about the product, this is not someone who says, what's the story on your button? And you go, well, let me tell you about it, and they run away. Is that one of your 10? No. This is someone you go all the way through. It works like crazy. You're not going to believe it. It's nutrition, 2 shakes a day, tablets 3 times a day, pictures, 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 give me the money. And they say either yes or no. Once they said yes or no, you can write them down as one of your 10. So everybody got this concept? 10 a day, okay? Now let's say you only do that 22 days. That's 220 people that you've talked to during the month. Let's say that you're just starting out and you're all nervous and you just bomb at the deal, okay? At least 50 people are going to buy the product. Okay. Most people, hands up, you get the whole presentation out, show your before and after pictures and all that stuff, and they're listening. Usually half the people buy the product or a third. Hands up. So you can see this is what happens usually. I'm saying What if only 1 out of 5 buy the product? 1 out of 5. You're real scared, and all you can do is just stand there with your little leaflet and go. One out of 5. Now the average sale is like $100. So that's $5,000 in business. At 50%, that's $2,500 that you're going to make. Times 12 months, you're already making $30,000 a year just selling the products. Okay? Now, we're not going to talk to you about all the upgrading of all the other products that you're going to sell them, and all the new products, and all the products that the relatives are going to want to have, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about the least amount of money you guys can possibly make doing this plan, okay? So that it's really realistic for everybody. Now, you can talk to 20 people a day if you want to and make $60,000 a year, but I don't suggest doing that unless most of the recruiting that you're doing is coming from your customers, because you still must have a certain.
Man, $50,000. That sounds like something that anybody want to be a part of? Type a 1 in the chat if you want to make $50,000 in 2019. Type a 1 in the chat. What else going on? Jerry Cooper, active royalty member. Been in the business 5 years. It's been a hell of a ride, and I remember when it was like when I finally got and I finally understood what was going down, right? So for me, that moment was LDW, because that's when I decided to actually show up and go to an event, and that was my first event. So for everybody that knows what LDW is, you pretty much know the kind of content that they give. It's a little bit deeper than STS, but it's not all the way celebratory like extravaganza, right? Extravaganza, right? So anyway, the structure behind the action is what's going to actually allow you to have longevity in the business, to create enough people around you to say, hey, I want to do this with you, right? And with people saying, hey, I want to do this with you, it's not because of, how do I say, like, or it is because of what you have to offer, right? So if you're traveling, right, if you're making money, if you're going to the gym at 2:00 in the afternoon, 5:00 in the morning, 9:00 a.m., 5:00 in the morning. Well, yeah, 5 a.m., 9 a.m., 2 p.m., 7 p.m., right? You having fun, you eating out where you want to eat, you buying new things, right? You traveling, you going to these events, you making it look very attractive. People want to know what you're doing, right? People want to be a part of what it is that you're doing, because it's not the simple, it's not, everybody doesn't get to do these things. Everybody doesn't have the time for them to be able to do so, right? So when you look attractive doing so, people want to say, hey, what do you do? And obviously with you offering the opportunity out, with you saying, hey, I'm building a team. Hey, this is what I'm going for. Hey, I want you to be a part of it. You doing face-to-face, you doing social media, you doing flyers, whatever the case may be. You hosting workouts, fit clubs, whatever it is that you're doing, shake parties, right? You allow the attraction to be big enough for enough people to say, hey, yeah, I want to do exactly what you do. And that's when you start to build a team. And that's when things start to happen for you. And that's when you start to get these checks. Because at the end of the day, yes, do not get it twisted. Retailing is forever, right? Retailing is forever. So retailing basically means you selling the products to people hand to hand. That is forever. You're always going to do that. You're never not going to say, oh, you know what? Nah, I don't want to help you out. No, essentially you're saying, by you saying, no, I don't want to help you out, you're basically saying, no, I don't want no money right now. I'm never going to say, no, you can't buy no products from me. I'm never going to say that. Why would I say that? You know what I mean? So the retailing part is forever. But when you're first starting out in Herbalife, the retailing part is probably the only and main source of income that you have when you start off, right? Because you don't have team members, you don't have royalties, you don't have wholesale, right? So the retail part is very important at the beginning, but you don't want to be retailing as your main source of income throughout your whole Herbalife career. right? The hustle is very important in the beginning parts and up until where you can create that for yourself. But don't get it twisted. You don't want to have that be the main source, because you want to get those royalties up. You want to get the wholesale up. You want to get those nutrition clubs under you. You want to be able to get teammates under you, right? So then when you get that check on the 15th and the 20th, if you qualify for the 20th check, you're like, damn, I just made 8 bands. I just made 12. Listen, how many of you guys have made $15,000 or more in a month? Raise your hand. Or raise your hand if you have not made $15,000 in 1 month. Listen, I ain't made 15 bands in a month, right? But the opportunity is the same for everyone inside of Herbalife, right? So it's going to take more of you. It's going to take a different level of focus. It's going to take more attention to the business if that's what you want out of this business, right? And if you only want to make 500, that's amazing. It's definitely going to take less work for you to make 500, but the 15,000 only represents all the people's lives that you changed, all of the hope that you represented for other people, and all of the examples of what's possible for everybody that's on your team. Because at the end of the day, at a certain point, people do branch off on their own journey, but at first they sign up because of you and what you have to offer, because they don't really know anything else. They don't really have the vision for anybody else to see. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so, right, I'm going to hurry up and turn. Well, first of all, wait, actually, let me just stop. First and foremost, everybody, let's give a big round of applause and congratulations to Bridget, because she just signed the lease to the first nutrition club inside of our organization, called Boost Nutrition in San Luis Obispo. And yeah, everybody just go ahead and get off mute. And you know what I'm saying?
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Awesome. You guys, so this is a perfect example of somebody taking the information. We went to Chicago, me, Amanda, Jorge, Takesha, right? We went to Chicago because we knew that there was people, them as well, but we knew that there was other people inside of the organization that was saying, hey, I want to do the nutrition club model. I want to have my own space. I want to have my own club to where people can come get shakes. People can come work out. People can come experience the vibes that I'm giving off. And essentially, I want to make more money. I want to have a more solid base of money income to come in, right? So Bridget is a perfect example of somebody taking information, hearing it, applying it, and going after it, right? So we went in February. What was that? Like middle of February? It was like the week before my birthday, right? So February 14th, Valentine's Day, right? So from Valentine's Day, what's today? April 7th? What is that? A month and a half, somewhat? Like what, 8 weeks? Whatever. It don't matter, right? 7 weeks. She got it done. So she signed her lease on Thursday, I believe. Whatever, it's really not important what day. She signed the lease. So now she's in the works. She's doing the pre-launch. She's getting her invites out. She's doing the flyers. She's doing everything necessary so she can have a successful opening day somewhere in mid-May, and it's going to be freaking awesome. So Bridget, if you want to actually go ahead and talk about that process really quick, and then also going into your weekend, that would be super dope.
Yeah, so, okay, first of all, I'm in South Central LA right now, and there's a lot of noises going on. I'm outside because the family's all inside, and I'm not trying to disrupt their evening. So if it gets too loud out here, let me know, and I'll find somewhere else to talk. But, so I had an interesting situation with my process, I guess, because I started looking outside of the city where I live because I was trying to make it work, kind of like going halfway with the other distributor in my downline, Thomas, who's kind of like my main partner on getting into the club. So we were looking in Atascadero, California, and we didn't really like what we were seeing. We didn't like the people that we were dealing with. And then there was this spot that I knew had been open for a long time in San Luis, but San Luis is like astronomically high rent. So I was like, oh, let me just find out what it is. So I found out I went and looked at the space. It's small, but it's big enough. It has an office and a bathroom, and it's right by Cal Poly, which is a university with 23,000 students, and right up the street from the high school where I coach. And I know everybody because I went there and I'm from this town. So I figured if I could make that space work, it would kind of be like a little gold mine. So we applied, we got credit reports, background checks, paperwork and more paperwork. And on my 1-year anniversary being in Herbalife, I got a phone call saying that we had been accepted, like our application had been accepted basically. So I cried and I was really happy and it was really exciting. Oh my God, yay us. Okay. So now we are, I am doing most of the legwork, which is fine, but it's a lot of paperwork. So Herbalife makes you do paperwork. You have to write out a business plan, which basically means figuring out your overhead, figuring out your operating expenses. If you don't know what that is, you got to learn. You have to do online training through the website. You have to register your location. There's just a ton of stuff to do. And then you have to do building permits with the city, business license, LLC applications, like just a buttload of stuff. And I'm learning a lot, which is awesome. But if any of you guys start thinking about that in the future, obviously, I will have gone through the process, so I'll know kind of what you have to do. But yeah, so I'm just excited. Obviously, I signed my lease and ran out of town for LDW, but I'm excited to get back home tomorrow and kind of, start. Then I get the keys a week from tomorrow, so I have basically a week to get my plans done and approved by the city and by the landlord, and then basically line up everything from plumbing to painting to bar building for the next month, so that hopefully we can get this process going as soon as possible and make some money back, because that's gonna be necessary. But I already know that I have at least 40 people who are gonna buy a shake on opening day, so I'm feeling good about at least opening day. But yeah, so anyway, stemming into LDW this weekend, it was actually kind of perfect because the two people who spoke, one is 15K executive president's team, Nicole, I don't know how to say her last name. She's from Oklahoma. She has over 100 clubs in her organization. That's kind of how she built her organization. So she had a lot to say about clubs. And the other person was Chairman's Club member Jonathan Rodriguez. So that was fun. I had to have my little radio because he was speaking in Spanish. He's from Puerto Rico. They have over 300 clubs in their organization. He's basically the man in Puerto Rico, the man, the Herbalife dude. And he's kind of set this tone of wherever you are. Obviously, Puerto Rico is an island. So it's if you think about how big it is, and then you look at your area, think about how big your area is and how big his influence is if he's the man on an entire island, because they serve what he said 1 million people or something amongst all their clubs. So to think about how big that circle of influence is, and then apply it to your life, and how do you get to be that? Then you'll be Chairman's Club, and it'll be great, and you'll have lots of fun and money. Anyway, so there's just a few things I want to go over, because there's a lot of information. They had a lot of people coming up on stage, a lot of people talking. Romalis Reed, who's been on our calls before, was talking. He had some awesome things to say about challenges and how he runs them and how he kind of makes them work to their advantage beyond just getting people signed up and getting products that way, but having raffles and stuff and getting advertisements and referrals from people. So that's a future conversation we can have for our next challenge. Stephen Crawford talked about 90-day plans and how to duplicate, have a team structure, all that good stuff, which brings me back to I need to finish my PowerPoint thing. I promise I'll get to that eventually, Jerry. But the main thing I wanted you guys to write down right now is something that Nicole had all of us do this morning. So I'm going to have you write down 10 things. They're 10 descriptive words, honestly, on a scale to rate, basically, on those things. So the first thing is self-confidence. So on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your self-confidence. So I'm just going to read off the things really quickly. You can write them all down, and then we can take a minute, and you can make up your numbers. So it's self-confidence, patience, understanding and empathy, that's one. Self-mastery, attentiveness, integrity, decisiveness, initiative, responsibility, and power of influence. So if anybody needs me to repeat them again, let me know. Yes, all of them. Should I just go slower? Should I just say, okay, I'll be like, okay, number one, self-confidence. Give yourself a number on a scale of 1 to 10. How's your self-confidence? Number two, patience. How patient are you with your downline and with your clients and with anybody you interact with on a daily basis? Number three, understanding and empathy. How understanding are you? Do you fly off the handle when your distributor doesn't listen to you or when a client doesn't reorder? Number four, self-mastery. How self-aware are you and how willing are you to grow as a person within yourself, not for anybody else, but just for you? Number five, attentiveness. Do you even do follow-ups? Do you get back to people? Do you pay attention to details like that? Number six, integrity, aka honesty. Can you even be honest with yourself while you're answering these questions right now? Number seven, decisiveness. Can you make a decision about what to rank yourself on here right now? I had a very low score that I gave myself on this because as I was having this little challenge for myself, I was getting pictures from my designer about my logo, and I was like, I love them all. I couldn't decide. I am not very decisive. Anyway, number 8, initiative. Did you take the initiative to open up a club? I gave myself a high score on that one. Number 9, responsibility. And number 10, power of influence. Do people follow you? Do they follow you for a long time, for a short amount of time? Do you inspire people? Yada, yada. All right, so obviously these are 10 things. And if you gave yourself a 10 out of 10 on all of them, you got 100%. That's 100. You're amazing. But I already know that if any of you did that, then you're lying. So just add all of those up and see what your grade is. You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to put it in the chat. You can if you want to. It doesn't matter. But add it up and then look at it. And 8 was initiative. So add it up. And remember, like grading in school, a 90 to a 99 is an A. An 80 to an 89 is a B. A 70 to a 79 is a C, and so on and so forth. So I wrote on mine, I'll tell you, I gave myself my own score, and I got a 73 out of 100. I have never gotten a C on anything in my life except for my first college midterm in biology, and it was an honors class, okay? I wrote down on here, I am not a C student. So next time I do this little evaluation, which will probably be after my next 90-day plan, I better have a higher score. I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm not going to be like, calculating what needs to get better, but just look at how you graded yourself and see what needs to be improved. Because this is it right here. This how to run a business. You need to be all these things on a 10 to be president's team. So if you can't put those, if you don't have like 1 10 on there right now, focus on getting a 10 or being able to feel like you honestly deserve a 10 out of 10 on one of these things in the next 90-day plan. If you have a 10, try to get 2 or 3. But it's all about looking at this and being honest with yourself and knowing where you can grow to make your business grow. And all of this was leading into her discussion of how to get to Active World Team. So she kind of gave us like an action list. And after this, I'll just be very brief. But like, these are the kind of things that she said that every event she writes down her action list. And then she just evaluates it from event to event. Obviously, if this is a 15K presence team member and she's taking the time to do this stuff, obviously we should be doing it too. So number 1 is where am I currently in my journey? So whether you're a new distributor, a supervisor, world team, active world team, obviously there's nobody higher than that right now. And then where you're heading. So like I'm a supervisor heading to world team and I'm opening a club. Number 2, in VIP. Do you want to be at every single event, knowing people, chit-chatting, taking pictures with a team? You want to be sitting in the back by yourself? You want to be mill team? Just some ideas. What areas do I need to grow in to be that person? So reflect back on your list and your grades and figure out where you need to grow to get to where you want to be in a year. And number 4 is, what kind of leader am I currently? Once again, reflect back to the list. Do you have people who are following you? If the answer is no, then I'm sorry, but you're not the best leader, and that needs to take some work. Something that people kept saying repeatedly is, your pin is a reflection of your capabilities at this point in time. You're getting exactly what you deserve. And if it's not what you want it to be, then you need to change. No person is just going to pop up out of nowhere and make you a Get team member all of a sudden. You have to change and attract those people, because you attract what you are, really. Okay. After that, we went over what it takes to get to that. That's kind of obvious. Da-dee-da, blah, blah, blah. I don't necessarily think there was like the most important things. Oh, this was kind of just a cool little story about what happened. They did the top 10 in the region, which I think it's lame, because there were people from like Baltimore up on that stage, and I was like, you are not from the region, but like, thanks for coming. Anyway, so I was like, whatever. Not like I would have, been up there, but anyway. So there's a chick from Arizona, and she's a single mom. Her husband left her. That was sad to just hear like the way she said it. Anyway, Blair Murphy was up on there interviewing the top 3 people in the region, and this chick is number 1. And she said to her, what would you say to yourself when you first started, and what do you have to say to yourself 10 years from now? And what she said, obviously, like, it was very powerful, but it's not really that important. But I just thought that it was like a good way to look at things. So no matter how long you've been in the business, you can reflect on what you've already done and think about it, and how, advice you would give to yourself, because that's advice you can give to new distributors when they join. Obviously, you're reflecting on your own journey to help them. And then think about where you're going to be in 10 years, where you really honestly want to be. And then think about what you would say to yourself. What words do you want to be able to use in your self-reflection 10 years from now? And hers made everybody, like, there was not a dry eye in the room. Everybody was crying, because it was just the amount of emotion that she had. The first thing she said, Blair Murphy said, where are you going to be in 10 years? And she goes, Chairman's Club, just without a beat. And everybody starts clapping. Oh yeah, I get it. But then she's like, but the reason why is that if I'm Chairman's Club, the number of lives I have affected positively is just greater than anything I could have ever imagined I could have done. And only in a company like Herbalife is that possible for absolutely anybody. And so if you guys don't know what Chairman's Club is, ask your sponsor. But to have Jonathan Rodriguez on stage talking about the entire island of Puerto Rico is affected by his presence. After the big ass hurricane last year, they basically fed the island. Herbalife people took care of a massive amount of people on the island when nobody else had ice, water, food, anything. They had shakes. They all got into their clubs, and they were giving people shakes on the streets, not for money, not for like pay us, whatever. They were just they were feeding people. So it ends up being like a lot bigger than anything that, is monetary or, distraction. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of got off of my soapbox for a little bit. Basically, the whole point of this weekend was that you need to recruit and you need to build. You need to be duplicatable. You need to have a structure and a system. There was not one person up there on stage who was like, yeah, I got into it and I was really lucky and I talked to people and they all said yes. No, that's not what happened. There's a number of different shares and ways, and social media, clubs, fit camps, fit clubs, going to events and dragging people with you. But whatever it is, pick like 3 of them and do them really well. Pick one of them and do it really extremely well, but don't try to do everything. Focus on what your strengths are, and always go back and reevaluate that little 10 attribute thing that we did, and try to get yourself up to an A. Because when you genuinely feel like you are an A, you're going to attract other people who are that strong in all those areas. So, yep. That was April LDW in Los Angeles. Oh, also Garen Jones got up on stage and performed again, so y'all missed out.
Of course, he did the famous song, right?
Oh yeah, except that this time RC and Jimmy Powers got up with him, and they added their own segments.
RC was up there rapping.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Big swole ass up there rapping. What the hell? That's all funny. Oh, my bad.
It was like, said it was like a solid 10-minute performance.
That's exciting to hear. That's what's up.
Yeah. Okay, that's all.
So that's what's up. Shares from Los Angeles LEW. So that's amazing that you guys had it this weekend. So now you got all month to go ahead and go forth with all the new mindset stuff that you heard. So listen, right? Thinking or going off of what she said for the 10 attributes or words to describe yourself, and I gave myself the numbers, right? I'm added up at a 73. And I'm just like, ooh, a 73. And it's kind of like, obviously I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself and be like, oh yeah, I'm a 10 at this, I'm a 10 at this. And it's like, I did put 110. But it's like, I'm about some 6s and some 7s in some other areas as well. And it's like, just be real with yourself when you do that, because now it allows me to be like, okay, cool. These are the areas that I can improve in for sure, right? And get better in. So now in 90 days, going into extravaganza, it's going to be stupid, right? So the start of the second quarter, first call of the second quarter. First of all, one more time, I forgot to do this. Congratulations. We have a new distributor called Dolly. Hey, if you just want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people where you're from and the whole shindig, that's going to be awesome.
I'm really new to this. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just getting familiar with everything. I'm from Hayward, California. My sister's in the business too, so just trying to get up there.
Right. So, yeah, welcome to the team. Welcome to the greatest organization on the planet. I say that to everybody that joins, because that's the energy that you want to perpetuate to people when you bring people in, right? I don't know what you guys tell people when you sign them up and they start to come into the organization. I don't know what you say, but I always tell people like, yo, it's about to, see, this is reminding me of last year, right? It's about to get crazy, right? I was saying that all last year as I was signing people up, and I'm letting them know it's about to get crazier when you join because it's already cracking, right? But see, the difference between last year and this year is that we have a brand new group of people that stayed from last year. Of course, some people fell off. And that's the thing with Herbalife, right? As you start to build your organization, you have to come to the understanding to know that there are going to be people that will fall off, right? You're not going to retain 100% of the people that you sign up. You're not going to retain 100% of the distributors, or not distributors, the clients that you sell products to, right? Because this is the thing. Just because you sell somebody products, don't necessarily make them your client, right? They just bought products from you one time. How many people didn't have people that buy products and then just disappear, right? Listen, I got people that buy products that don't listen to nothing I say, hit me up every 3 to 4 months, that will say, oh, I really want to get in shape. I'm really serious this time, and continue to do the same patterns that they did before, right? And that's cool. That's fine. I'm not going to necessarily call my client. I'm going to just say they buy products from me. The clients, to me, is the people that are consistent, that buy every month or every time that they need some new, need to re-up, right? That listen to what you say, that ask you questions, right? I have definitely some clients, and then I got people right in the mid, and then I got them people that just buy every now and then, right? So you want to be able to get more clients, definitely. You know how we always say 5 to 7 new clients, right? Don't forget the 5 to 7 new distributors, right? Don't forget that part. Like, as you're going out there talking to people face to face, yeah, this is my results, swiping through your photo album, boom, this is her results, this is my results, yeah, I can help you out, lose weight, energy, gain weight, whatever, shred up, tone up, you want to get better aesthetics, you want to get stronger, boom, I got you, right? Post-workout, pre-workout, skincare, cellulose, heart health, all that good stuff, right? Yes, we got that. Don't forget the 5 to 7 distributors, right? Because this is the thing. As you become a more seasoned distributor, right? As you start to hit World Team, Active World Team, going into the Cut to Get Team, things like that, right? You need to be able to be a 5-star general, right? How many of you guys have heard me say this is a volunteer army, right? A volunteer army means that I'm not paying none of you guys, right? I'm definitely not paying nobody, but you earn your keep for sure, right? So because you earn it and you see something worth it, you're volunteering to be a part of this army, right? So if you are the general in your army, right? I don't know the lineage. I'm sorry if this is not exactly how it's supposed to go, lieutenant, general, whatever, right? Colonel. I think actually colonel's the top. Whatever, right? Let's just for purposes of listening, you're the general of your army. How many stars do you have on your whatever this is called? Your y'all know what I'm talking about. This. Are you a 1-star general? Y'all can laugh all you want to. It's still gonna be a bar, right? So are you a 1-star general, a 2-star general, a 3-star general, 4-star general, 5-star general, right? And your generals that follow you as your active supervisors. How many active supervisors do you have, right? How many do you have? Because then you can start to go into cuts of 3-stone pin, 5-stone pin, 7-stone pin, 10-stone pin. Can you imagine what it's like to know that you frontlined, which means that for the new distributors, Dali, Essence, right? When you say frontline, that means you sponsored someone, right? So on this call, we have Amanda, I sponsored her. Bridget, I sponsored her. Jorge, I sponsored him. Takesha, I sponsored her. Essence, I sponsored her, right? So out of them 5, I frontlined them 5, right? And then Amanda frontlined Angelica, and Angelica frontlined you. You see what I'm saying? So yes, you're always somebody's frontline, but this is the thing. How many frontlines are you going to have that are active supervisors, right? So you got to think, if you're going to be a 5-star general, 3-star general, whatever the case may be, right? You're going to have other supervisors, obviously more than the 5 or 3. Because yeah, you'll have 5 active, but you might have 10 total. Because it's going to take you talking to more people for you to get that one person that's going to be an active supervisor. Does that make sense? So if you have a 5-star pin, if you have a 5-star pin, what is that? 2,500, 2,500, 5K. What is that? 12,500? Yeah, 12,500. That's an active royalty business, just like you having a 5-stone pin, right? And beyond. You already damn near there to get team, right? So for me personally, I don't have a 5-stone pin. I only have a 3-stone pin. There is no 1-stone pin. There is no 2-stone pins. But I have a collective group. We have a collective group of people that are supervisors and under 2nd and 3rd line that's producing enough volume to be in cuts of global expansion. Mind you, just to let you guys know, you guys are on fire this month. I'm looking at the numbers. The numbers is going stupid already, right? Last month we finished very close to first cut, and that was awesome. So I see you guys this month carrying momentum over into the second quarter, the start of the second quarter. So the point of it is that this is the start of the second quarter going into extravaganza, right? 90 days away. So it's about to get real. How much do we need to hit for first cut this month? I believe the first cut is 16,666. That's the first cut of Global Expansion Team with the uplift factor. Last month we finished at 13. So, you know what I'm saying? A little bit more work to do. Just adding more supervisors to the pot, right? Adding more clients to the pot. Add more preferred members to the pot. That's all it is. 90 days up until extravaganza. Probably a little bit more, right? Maybe a little bit more than 90 days, but essentially 90 days, right? So finishing up the 90-day plan that we worked from January until now, right? We got new distributors on the call. We had people hit supervisor. We got a nutrition club within the organization. The team is growing. People are getting the opportunity as well. There's new people getting new results, right? Our results increase. So that's awesome. Now it's time for you to get locked in to the second 90-day plan of 2019 because it's still the beginning of the year. It's still the beginning of the year. It's not, don't feel like, it's April, like it's our, like don't throw your year away because maybe you didn't go as hard as you wanted to or the first 3 months wasn't as successful as you wanted it to be, right? So now there's April, boom, we have 90 days until extravaganza, right? So what's your extravaganza experience going to look like? So for those who don't know what extravaganza is, first of all, who's been to, raise your hand if you have been to extravaganza. 1, 2, Bridget. Yes, I know you went. Jorge, you didn't. Jorge, you didn't go last year. All right, dog. Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys. Yes, LDW is still coming up. So for NorCal, yes, we have LDW. This weekend coming up? Vegas. I'm not sure when LDW is for Vegas. You're gonna have to look that up. Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? And for everybody watching this call, I don't know where y'all extravagant or your Vegas or where your Vegas at. LDW is at, right? But extravaganza is coming up, so you guys got to be thinking about. Okay, cool. It's 3 months away. I want to get there. I want to experience it. It's like the Super Bowl of Herbalife, right? What will you need there? We're not going to necessarily get into details about what you'll need yet because it is 3 months away. But what you definitely need to be thinking about is what kind of experience you'll have going into extravaganza. So you don't want to show up by yourself. Even if you do show up by yourself, that's completely okay because I've shown up to extravaganza by myself before as well. Right? But for your first time to have somebody there with you, awesome. You want to have somebody there with you on your team because this is the reality of it. When we're all there, you can either be looking around and it could be all of your sidelines there with you, which is great. Awesome. Do it 24 crew gang. Yeah, we in this thing. Right? Or out of the gang that's there, some of that can be your downline, which is a better feeling. Because, yeah, my sidelines are here. Yeah, we all locked arms. Yeah, we're going together. But listen, I want my team to be there as well. I want some of my downline to be there. I want somebody that I can be like, hey, we want to be at that pin next year in 3 months. We want to hit our first cut next month, whatever the case may be. So, obviously, for you bringing people to extravaganza, it's going to take you to be talking to people about extravaganza, about the experience, about New Orleans, about the 30,000 people that's going to be there, all doing Herbalife, all drinking the same shakes, all having fun, right? All of the recognition, all of the partying, right? Who's been in New Orleans? Raise your hand. I haven't been there. So for me, it's going to be super dope because we're going to have a huge team there. It's going to be super dope because I've never been to New Orleans. And it's just going to be super dope because this is going to be like the best extravaganza since extravaganzas. You know what I'm saying? So what is Morgan saying? New Orleans go crazy. Can't wait to go back. Yeah, man, it's about to be stupid, right? So you want to be there with your team. So be talking to people about how fun it's going to be. Like, hey, do you want to go to New Orleans? I'm going to New Orleans for a business trip, and we finna have some fun there. Because I'm going to tell you something. The party after the event is bananas. Just bananas, right? We went there last year in Houston. Well, the year before was St. Louis. It was awesome. It was hella people, so it was actually more packed than we thought it was going to be, so it was just stupid packed. Last year, it was in Houston, and it was retarded, right? This year, I talked to Jerry. Jerry's the one who coordinates all of that good stuff about where we're going to do it at. He said it's about to be stupid crazy. So you want to get there, and you want to qualify. You want to qualify VIP for the club. You want to qualify VIP for the actual event, because qualifying VIP means that you made enough money to say, hey, this person's a high flyer. They get to sit in the bronze, silver, gold, or platinum level, right? So you want to be going for those levels as well. And I believe April, they didn't say April's double volume. More than likely, May will be double volume, right? So keep that in mind. If you're talking about you don't have the funds yet, tickets are on sale for extravaganza.
April is double volume.
April is double volume. Awesome. So now everything you do up to 5K will double for your qualifications for extravaganza. So keep that in mind. I'll post that in the chat so you guys can see. If you guys aren't so the tickets are on sale. I believe they're $90. So get them now so you don't got to worry about it. Because if you get the ticket that commits you to going to the event, you'll figure out a way to go. Yeah, $180 at the door. So you can pay $90.
And if you get it at the door, if you get it after June 20th, I think it is, then you have to go wait in the registration line in New Orleans. But if you get it before then they will mail it to you and you don't have to do the whole registration thing at the actual event. So think if you want to skip a line of 5,000 people, order it now. Plus you save money.
Right. You don't want to, dude, I'm telling you, we're going to be proactive. We're going to have initiative, right? We're going to have initiative and get the ticket early, right? So for just references for you guys that are saying like, oh, I don't know if I'm have the money to be out there in extravaganza. This is a tip that I learned last year, right? From our guest speaker last week, right? He said, save $5, just $5 every day going into extravaganza, and you'll have, what was it? $450 going into extravaganza to play around with, right? For the hotel or for the Airbnb, right? So for everybody that's on the call now that hasn't already paid, I believe everybody on this call paid except Essence and Dolly. She like, yeah, but I will pay. She like, don't worry, I'm gonna get that to you. Hella funny. So the Airbnb that we have, and I will repeat this on future calls coming up very soon. The Airbnb we have now does fit, I believe, 14, 15 people, and I believe that we have 12, 13 people committed already. So we basically have about 2 to 3 spots that's still available. And the total cost for everybody in the hotel is, or the Airbnb is, I believe, what was it, 179, 180, something like that. Something like that. It was, I had to look at it, but it was like 180. You can pay the first half now to secure your spot, and we don't need the other half until June like 8th or something like that. I'll tell you guys what it is, but you know what I'm saying? Basically, it's pretty much already paid for between the people that's already going. But this is the thing. This is the thing that you guys got to realize, right? Yes, we have the Airbnb for our group, the 13, 14, 15, 16 people that's going to come. Yes. But to have that goal of 50, like we was talking about, right? That's plenty of time. Like, I'm not worried about it, stressed about it at all, because we already have more than a quarter that's available that's going already. It's going to take all of us to bring at least 3 people. Like, we can all bring 3 people to extravaganza just through the 10 or just through the 12 that's going. We can all bring 3 between now and July, right? 3 people. That's going to take you to talk to about, just by the law of averages, 30 people. That's just the law. Because out of 30 people, yeah, you may get 10 people to do Herbalife and say, yeah, I want to do the business with you. Now, out of them 10 people that say, yes, I want to do the business with you, within this 3-month span, you have to not convince, but show the value in going to extravaganza and how it's going to change their life. Because I'm going to tell you what, when I went to my first extravaganza, yeah, I was in Herbalife. Yeah, I went to LDW. Yeah, I was going to STSs. Yeah, I knew about President's Team. Yeah, I knew about all that good stuff. But it wasn't necessarily all the way real. My vision wasn't all the way like clear until I went to extravaganza and I saw the stories about everybody. And I was like, yo, this shit is actually, excuse my language, this shit is for real. Like, it was bigger than just shakes. It was bigger than just working out. It was bigger than just saying, hey, let me get the abs. It was like, yo, change your life. Change the way your family's going. Change the way your kids gonna grow up. Change the way your grandkids gonna grow up. Change the way that your parents is living currently. Change the way your lifestyle is living right now. Change the way you see the world. Change where you live at. Change the car you drive. Just change everything. It's about change, right? And I was like, yo, I'm down for that, because I understood at 23 years old, 24 years old, that, listen, my dreams of the NBA is not happening no more. I'm not going to the NBA, right? I'm not good enough. That's already done, right? I don't have a degree. I dropped out of college. I was working at, where was I even working at the time? I was working at a hotel doing security, right? And I had the opportunity in front of me to say, hey, if you go hard for long enough and take enough action, you'll be on that stage saying, hey, I'm a President's Team member now. Imagine, listen, dog, I'm telling you, imagine 1 year from today, and this is what I told Bridget. Shout out to Bridget, because she said, I told her when she signed up, I said, yo, give me 1 year and I'll show you that everything was worth it. On her 1 year, she signed at least to a club, right? So in 1 year from now, imagine you being on stage in front of 30,000 people talking about all the progress that you made from the year before. Now last year, I was sitting way at the top with all of my team with nobody there. And now here I am on stage in front of everybody in blank city. We don't know yet. We're in a blank city, and I'm here standing here as a President's Team member. Imagine the whole crowd going stupid. Imagine your whole team, right? Because you're a President's Team member. Imagine your group of people that you brought with you all cheering for you. because they know the struggles that it took. For the people that rode with you from day one to the person that just signed up a month before, they all excited for you. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. But see, now the next level is for somebody to be on that stage with you saying that they made it to president's team. And that's when you'll know you made it, when you get that first diamond, that second diamond, that third diamond. But it's going to take you to go through the trials and tribulations first. It's going to take you to show up to the extravaganza first. It's going to take you to say, hey, I'm going to commit to getting that flight. I'm going to commit to paying for the Airbnb. I'm going to commit to getting my ticket. Yeah, I may show up by myself, but now I have the vision and I know what's possible. So now next year I'm going to show up with 10 people. And now the next year I'm going to show up with 50 people. And the next year I'll be walking the stage as a president's team member with a diamond. Imagine what that'll be like, a 3-year, 4-year process. It'll be worth it because you decided to commit today. That's what's possible for us inside of this organization. And it's going to be dope, but it's going to take you to commit. It's going to take you to be focused. It's going to take you to give more than what you think it's going to take. It's going to take you for you to show up when you didn't want to show up. It's going to take you to go to that event when you don't want to go to that event. Sometimes it's going to take you to pay some money that you don't want to pay. It's going to require you to work with people that you might not want to work with. You're going to have to get frustrated. Things aren't going to work out your way. It's going to be shit that's not going to go your way. But enough of that will allow you to have the blossoms of the tribulations. You know what I'm saying? You'll start to hit those cuts. You'll start to get those checks. You'll start to get those people that say yes. You'll start to qualify for VIP. You'll start to qualify for President's Team experience, right? You'll start to get requested to speak on stage. You'll start to be able to change your life little by little. You'll start to be able to upgrade your life, the place that you live, the car that you drive, your results in itself, your life in itself, right? It'll start to upgrade, but it's going to take you to commit first. And I'll tell you what, I'm down to support anybody that's down for the commitment, because I'm already in the commitment myself, and I'm already came too far for me to say, you know what, whatever. Like, I've already did too much. I can't just quit now. So for you, make that commitment to yourself and say, you know what, I'm in it for the long run, because it's not about the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. It's about the longevity. It's about the life. It's about the 5 years from now, the 10 years from now, the 15 years from now, the 20 years from now. Just imagine in 5 years what you'll be able to say, yo, I'm a Chairman's Club member. Like, do you guys know? Raise your hand if you know what it is to be a Chairman's Club member. Raise your hand if you don't know. Or unmute yourself if you do know. Just shout it out if you know what it is. No, nobody? It's all right, because that's a little far. I'm not mad at nobody. Chairman's Club, right? Don't know.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Frontline, 10 supervisors, 10 president's team members. No? That's
Founder Circle.
Oh.
So Chairman's Club, good attempt though. So you kind of in the right ballpark, right? That's when the coach saying, yo, just go get the layup and you pull up for the 35-foot three. Whatever. If you made it, you made it. That's what that's what that was. Dahlia, that's like coach saying, go ahead and just squat 135, and you say, go on, throw on 3 plates. Like, it's cool. It's all right. Overshoot it. It's cool. It's not bad, right? Anyway, Chairman's Club is saying, hey, so for example, like I just said, I frontline Amanda, I frontline Jorge, I frontline Bridget, I frontline Takesha, I frontline Essence, right? 5 frontline. That's like all 5 of them reaching President's Team. All 5 of them reaching President's Team. That's what that means, Chairman's Club. I'm going to tell you something like this. President's Team is like, okay, if you build it right, yeah, your business is pretty much forever, right? But if you can get that diamond in there, woo, that's a game changer, right? That's stability. If you can get that diamond over 5 different lines, let me tell you, you'll never have to worry about anything else in your life again, ever. Your kids will be good, ever. 5 frontline President's Team members, sheesh. Listen, that's a lot of work, though. That's 5 people that you got to. So imagine, right? 5 frontline President's Team members. Imagine how many distributors that you didn't have to help. Imagine how many people hit Get Team. Imagine how many people hit Meal Team. Imagine how many people is right there about to hit Prez if you got 5 frontline President's Team members. Your organization is pretty freaking big, and you making a pretty nice check. Just based upon the number. Let me just do this real quick. Let me see if I can calculate this really quick. Right, times 5, boom. Okay, what is that? Right. So 1 million. So that's 1 million, right? Five frontline presidents team members, not including anybody else that's doing a volume in your organization. That's just from the president's team members. What's 5% of 1 million? I don't know. What's 5% of 1 million?
Okay.
No, that's not the answer I wanted. What's 5% of 1 million?
It's 50,000.
$50,000 on a check at once from your president's team members right there, right? 50 bands. And that's if they do, dude, that's if they're doing the bare minimum of their 200,000 qualification. That's not including if they actually doing more than 200,000. That's not including the other people that's in your downline. That's not your president's team. That's just your president's team giving you 50K, right? And that's in your first 3 levels. That's not including your bonus. That's not including the other 6% that you getting on top of that. Dude, it's lit. So imagine with the 6% on top of that too. That's like $110,000 in 1 month. 110 bands. I'm down. All I gotta do is keep showing up, keep talking to people, keep showing people the opportunity, keep wearing my button, keep being excited, keep drinking the products, keep getting better results, keep being inspiring to people. Yeah, I'm down for that. Make 50 bands in a month, 110,000 in a month. Yeah, I'm down for that. So it's all going to start from today, and it's all going to start with you getting your mind right. So my suggestion is start a new 90-day plan today, going into LDW for your area this month, going into May, June, and going into Extravaganza, right? So for you guys, all of us, when I say you guys, I definitely mean all of us. So for all of us, right, let's type what we're doing in our 90-day plans in the chat after this, and let's all try to get synced together and do the same thing, right? So we can all see similar results, right? Because this is the thing. We can't be having some people like, my 90-day plan is to use the shake use the products every day. Well, okay, awesome. That's great, but we need more than that. Like, yeah, okay, awesome. You'll get new results in 90 days. Okay, cool. What more do we need, though? We need distributors. We need more clients. We need more preferred members. We need a bigger organization, right? We need more frontline. So, yeah, using the shakes is part of the 90-day plan, but that's not written down in your 90-day plan. That's a standard, right? Like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, putting clothes on, standard. Drinking the shake, standard, right? So we're no longer going for, oh, yeah, use the products every day, take my tablets. Like, okay, yeah, we know that. Awesome. What else, though? So let's all not come up with some ideas. Let's just say some standards that we're going to do inside of our business for the next 90 days and hold ourselves accountable to that. Because I guarantee, right, if we can get focused for 90 days, and a 90-day plan is just doing the same thing every day, right? Just taking action every day for 90 days. I guarantee when we go to Extravaganza in 90 days, New Orleans, it's going to be stupid. It's going to be unforgettable. It's going to be the most amazing thing that we've ever been a part of. You guys remember what it felt like when you graduated high school? How you was like, oh my God, I feel super accomplished, right? It's gonna kind of feel like that, right? Like, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. When I graduated high school, I was like, yes, I'm popping. Or that day you turned 18, oh yes. Or the day you turn 21, yes. Like, yeah, it's going to be stupid, I'm telling you, right? So just keep that in mind about how crazy it's going to be. It's not even at its peak craziness. Because, yes, it's going to take work now, but I promise you're going to go to this extravaganza and you're going to be fired up for 2020 extravaganza. And then imagine you having your own group of 50. Now, that's going to be when it's really popping, because then we're going to show up and we're going to be 300 deep, 400 deep, 500 deep, all a part of the gang. 500 deep? What's your percentage in that? How many people you got in that 500? Like, what level are you within that 500 people? Because I'll tell you what, if there's 500 people in the gang, I'm automatically going to be your president's team member. That's just what that is, right? But for you guys, what is that going to look like for you individually? Will you be a get team and up? 2.5? Mil team? 7.5? Prez? Possibly 15K? We don't know, but it's very possible. So we're going to see what's popping. Anyway, all questions is good questions. Is there anything anybody wants to say? Anything anybody's not clear on? Anybody wants tips on anything? Going into the second week of the second quarter. Anybody want to say anything? Because if not, it's all good.
I just put it down on the chat. I don't know if you guys are down, but I think it would be great an accountability thing for us moving into extravaganza so we can all grow and change our pins and do more work after extravaganza as well. It's to do the same 90-day plan over and over again. So that way all of us are all on the same board doing the same exact things. So we're all growing together at the same time. If you guys
For that. So we'll just have to go ahead and type in the chat what we want to do and hold ourselves accountable to that. And like Jorge said before, to be able to go over our numbers weekly, like, oh, this is what I did and this is my result from it. Boom. Okay, so that way we can have a solid tracking, knowing what we're doing, so we don't have to guess about, okay, well, yeah, like, no, like we know because we didn't track it. So really just owning our own business, really just starting to track our numbers, really just being more better business owners, because I guarantee all business owners that are very successful track what they got going on. And yes, we can do that within My Herbalife. You can track certain things, but there's certain things that My Herbalife doesn't track, like how many people did you talk to, or how many people did you contact today, right? Things like that. Herbalife don't know that. You know that. So that's just the little things that help make your business a little bit better. So other than that, though, you guys call me if you need me. If you have any questions, call me. You're never bothering me. It's very important that I know what's going on so I can help you guys. And let's get it popping. So I will see you guys. I'll post the call in the chat. Let's all post our 90-day plans, what we want to do. And I'm going to see you guys. Let's get it popping.